Okay, this is the first packet you should be on. You got two of them. This is the first one. So in this system of equations, I call it a system because there's two. We have y equals 3 times x plus 2, and then 1 times x plus 2 times y equals 11. So let's see, where do I have one of the letters all by itself? Probably right here. So this equation is my base. I box up the variable y and I circle the other side. Now I write the other equation down. 1x plus 2y equals 11. Now, this is where some of you get stuck at. What's the variable in the box all by itself? It's y. Put a parentheses around the y. And now what you're going to do is write the same thing, but don't put y in that parentheses. 1x plus 2 parentheses equals 11. I should not have y in there anymore. It's taken out. So now what I do is I just make a little wider parentheses. And where the parentheses is at, I put what y was equal to, which is 3 times x plus 2, so 3x plus 2. I have an x and an x. I will solve for x first. So I need to distribute our rainbow, multiply. 2 times 3 is 6 with x, and then 2 times 2 is 4. Cross that as soon as those two things are written, get rid of this, okay? Now before equals, I write plus 1x equals 11. Okay, so I have an x here and an x here. They're on the same side, so I make my adding pyramid. 6 plus 1 is 7. I also have a 4, so plus 4. Now I can write equals 11. Okay, so now I dot the only x I have. I'm minus 4, so 7 dot x equals 7. Divide by 7, and that's 1. Now to find the other letter, you go into your base equation and you take out the x, because you have an answer for x now, so I put a 1 there. And on the calculator, I simply go 3, parentheses 1 plus 2. It's 3 times 1 plus 2 is 5. So x is equal to 1, y is equal to 5. Now my next problem, 2 times x plus 5 times y equals 7. X equals negative 4y plus 2. This is my base, because that's the one that's got the x by itself. So I box up that letter and then circle what it's equal to. So I write the other equation. 2x plus 5y equals 7. What's the letter I have in the box now? It's x, okay? So I put a parentheses around the x. So 2 parentheses plus 5y equals 7. But don't just leave that empty. Now I extend the parentheses. And in its place I put negative 4y plus 2, because that's what x was equal to. Okay, this time we have 2 y's, so I circle y because that's going to be my first answer. I take 2 times negative 4y, that would give me negative 8 with y. And then I take 2 times 2, which is 4. Now I've got plus 5y equals 7. Okay, my y's are here. on the same side, so add -8 plus 5 is -3. So -3 with y plus the 4 equals 7. So I dot my letter and circle it. This time it's a y. So I subtract 4. So -3 dot y equals 3. And then I divide. 3 divided by -3 is -1. Now to find the other letter, I go into my circle. I have an answer for y, so I'm going to put a -1 over the y. So I go -4 times -1 plus 2. And that's 6. Next problem. Here's the letter that's by itself. That's my base equation. I box it up, circle the other side. The other equation is 3x plus -4y equals -5. What is the letter all by itself in the box? It's x. Now replace that with an empty parentheses. Now extend the parentheses so it's wider. And in that parentheses we put 3y plus 5. Okay, so 3 times 3y is 9y. 3 times 5 is 15. And then I add -4y and then -5. Add 9 plus -4 is 5. Plus 15 equals -5. Then I dot my 5y. We have a plus 15, so I'm minus 15. So 5 dot y, that's -20. And then I divide by 5. By the way, I forgot the x and y equals right here. Sorry about that. So that's -4. And now I go here, or no, sorry, that was y. Okay, I had y. That's my answer, and that's -4. Now to find the other answer, here's the y that I just found an answer for, and the answer was -4. So I go 3, -4 plus 5, and I got -7. Okay, last one, and this one I'm going to do on video. There are two x and y. This is where I have the isolated letter. Box it up, circle the other side. That's your base. Now write the other equation. 2x plus 3y equals 18. Okay, y. Y is the letter in the box. That's the letter you put in parentheses. Now make the parentheses so it's longer and you can fit everything inside. Okay, -3x plus -1. Okay. 3 times -3x is -9x. And 3 times -1 is -3. before I have equals, I add 2x, and then equals 18. Here are my x's. We can add those together. Negative 9 plus 2, negative 7. Okay. Then I dot my 7x, circle it. The negative 3 means we plus 3. That's 21. And divide. X is my first answer. Okay, that's negative 3. And now I go in here, and the x I just got for an answer, negative 3, now goes in for the x. So, negative 3 times negative 3 plus negative 1. So y equals 8. Now the second packet is new stuff, but it's not hard. It's less work than what you just did. I have 2 equations. Eventually I'm going to have to solve for both letters, but not today. We're just going to solve for one. Negative 9 times x plus 4 times y equals negative 17. 9x plus negative 6y equals 3. Well, I don't really have a base equation here because I don't have a letter that's all by itself. That has a 9 in front of it, that has a 9 in front of it, that has a 4, that has a negative 6. So you have no base equation. Okay. So it's on to plan B. In plan B, what you do is the 2 x's, we're going to circle those together. We're going to circle the 2 y's together, and we're going to circle these 2 numbers. Underline. Now what I want you to do is add your x's together, plus them, and plus your y's, and one of them needs to be a 0 when you plus. So I go negative 9 plus 9. Negative 9 plus 9. That's my 0. So I got 0. I forget about that. Don't write anything down. Don't write 0. And then I add these two. 4 plus negative 6. That's negative 2y. And then I plus these. Negative 17. I'm going to write that word plus because I think that's important. So negative 17 plus 3, negative 14. Now I just dot my y, and all I have to do is divide. So y equals negative 14 divided by negative 2 is 7. Now keep watching because you ain't ready to work yet. Okay? Once again, I don't have that letter all by itself, so it's on to plan B. I circle the x's, I circle the y's, and I circle these numbers over here, and I'm going to write the word plus. Either this or this has to equal 0. Okay, that didn't equal 0. Now add these. Maybe these equal add to 0. Those were 0. Now I cross the y's out. So I plus. Negative 3 plus 7 is 4, so 4x. And then equals negative 4. All you do is dot your x, circle it, divide by 4. X is going to equal negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Okay, you're not ready to work yet. Don't. don't have a letter by itself. I circle the x's, I circle the y's, and I circle these. And I write plus, underline. Okay, plus them. 2 plus 2 is 4. Don't write that down yet, though. Until you know that one of this or this is 0, don't write it down. Negative 1 plus 7 is 6. So again, I'm going to repeat that. 2 plus 2 is 4. Negative 1 plus 7 is 6. So I didn't get either one of these to be 0. But I at least have the same number here. Okay? So when I have the same number, what I can do is what's called a sign switch. All I do is go on the bottom, and change these to the opposite. So the opposite of 2 is negative 2. The opposite of 7 is negative 7. The opposite of 31 is negative 31. Okay, so now I plus. Let's see if I can get 0 now. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. That crossed off. So negative 1 plus negative 7 is negative 8 with y equals 7 plus negative 31 is negative 24. Okay, now I can divide. Dot, circle, and divide by negative 8. Negative 24 divided by negative 8 is 3. Next problem. 6x plus 1y equals negative 10. 5x plus 1y equals negative 10. And then we plus. But don't write anything down until you get 0 here or here. Okay? So 6 plus 5 is 11, so I did not get 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. I didn't get 0 there either. So I need to do the sign switch. Okay, the opposite of 5 is negative 5. The opposite of 1 is negative 1. And the opposite of negative 10 is positive 10. Now, again, don't write anything down until you have a 0. So, 6 plus negative 5, that's 1. That was not 0. 1 plus negative 1, there's 0. Okay, remember 6 plus negative 5 was 1x, and negative 10 plus 10 is 0. You do need to write a 0 down here, okay, because it wasn't with letters. When it's not with letters, we are going to write 0. So dot your letter, divide by 1, and x equals 0. Okay, my next part. Circle, circle, and circle. And I'm going to plus, okay? Remember, either this or this, either this plus this needs to be 0 or this plus this needs to be 0. Okay, you got to do it on your calculator. 1 plus negative 1 is 0. Good. And now I keep going. 2 plus 3 is 5y. 2 plus 13 is 15. Dot, circle, divide by 5, divide by 5. Y equals 3. Next problem. 3 times x plus negative 4 times y equals negative 16. 1 times x plus negative 4 times y equals negative 40. Can't use a base, so now and I plus. Now, either this plus this or this plus this needs to be 0 for me to go on. 3 plus 1, that was not 0. Negative 4 plus negative 4, that was not 0. So I need to do the sign switch. Because I do have the same number in front of the y, okay? And when I do have the same number in front of either x or y, I can do my sign switch. So the positive 1 goes negative. The negative 4 becomes positive 4. And the negative 40 becomes positive 40. Now, 3 plus negative 1 is 2, not 0. But negative 4 plus 4 is 0. These cross out because they add to 0. 3 plus negative 1 was 2. And negative 16 plus 40 is 24. Dot your x, circle it, and divide by 2. X equals 12. Okay?